When was the last time you ate?
I think I had a yam yam, and then I think I had a sandwich, and that was kind of, and then the rest come. If I'm honest, it was hard.
But,
I don't know if I'd recommend it.
like more intense than you thought it might?
Definitely.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take
Yeah, 1 minute.
This is what happens when you go through 100 cucumbers in 24 hours. Now, who made her go through this? Well, she did. Now, I know by now, after seeing her reaction going through 100 cucumbers, you feel kind of bad for her because, oh my god, poor girl, she doesn't know what she's doing. I hope she finds Christ. I hope she finds Islam. At this point, she should even go worship cows in India. Whatever works, right? You know, you tell yourself, oh, she's going through this mentally. It's going to damage her on the long term. She's only 25 years old. She doesn't know what she's doing. She needs help. I thought the same thing. I felt bad for her until I found out the reason she was crying in the first place.
Good. It was more, I guess the interactions weren't like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like,
now I know you're like, oh, I felt a little bit bad for her, for this donkey to find out that she didn't finish. She felt bad and started crying because she couldn't finish all of them off. Before you say anything else, do you know how it feels like to finish off 100 guys? If you're a guy, this is a super gay conversation we're having. On a real note, true story, I'm gonna give you a 30-second story. Back in 2020 when I was doing TikTok dance moves, I've had ladies everywhere, and there was this one time where I got a DM from a couple hundred girls, and my friend thought it would be a good idea to invite them to his palace. We went to it was like a mansion type of thing, and I invited around 50 women over there to have a good time, right? Do you know how it feels like not to be able to finish 50 women all at once? It was so traumatizing for me. True story. I had to literally go in the bathroom, sit, close my ears, and start crying inside the bathroom. I hope this never happens to you where 50 women are throwing themselves at you and, you know, you have to finish them off. It was a truly traumatizing, and I hope no one has to go through this. Now, we talked about her a couple days ago where she challenged herself for 1,000 guys in February of 2025, and we thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And just 2 days ago, a video of a documentary when she slept with 100 men in 24 hours just came out, and I had my shisha ready, I had my food, I was locked in like this was an episode from Game of Thrones. Now at the beginning of the documentary, she starts off saying she was in college, and then she started to do OF for a little bit of money. She had no expectation this is going to be her full-time career. And she said that a lot of people disagree with her. For example, this one scene that she had 23 guys all at once in a circle.
Much money you can make, and also just how much I loved it. I was just like, why am I doing a whole degree? Last week I was like 23 guys all at once, and like some people would be like, you're insane, like I would have to be paid to do that. And I'm like, no, that's just fun to me.
I'll tell you what, it might be fun to you, but it was definitely not fun for the guys. 23 guys in a circle, all naked, all with full throttle boners. You know how awkward that shit is? I'm definitely sure they did not enjoy their time around just standing for their turn, unless they're actors. Because think about it, you're hard and you're hearing another guy moan. It's not fun. Now she goes on, she says she has a team of 9 people, cameraman, PR, a manager, blah blah blah. And you know, talked about the parents a little bit. The parents just want her to be safe. They don't care about what she does as long as she brings in the money. It is all good from our side. 100% normal. Now when I saw this specific scene, I had a lot of questions. This is the part where they went inside Lily's actual house, inside her bedroom, and she wanted to show the documentary guy a couple of things.
I'll get some out for you. You'll be shocked as to what goes up my ass.
I'm afraid that's just a cone.
Now, when I first saw this, I thought this is what she uses to put, you know, line people up, or this is what she puts behind the door once she's doing shakalaka boom boom. So it's a sign that do not come in, hazard sign. Fun fact, this goes inside you. She didn't steal it from the driving center playground. This is something you buy from a store where it bends. It's a whole jelly thing. But Jesus Christ, this goes full inside you? Now, the question everyone been asking themselves, including me and you, who's gonna marry her in the future after her doing all these things? Especially if she actually goes through with 1,000 guys in a day.
Before I had I was never much for... I actually wanted to wait till marriage at one point. I just used to think it was a real special thing.
And do you think your partner one day will be someone from the industry, most likely, or?
Yeah, I talk about this a lot with my parents because that's the one thing I guess they worry about is like, will you ever find a boyfriend?
Yeah.
But there's so many guys out in the world. I think, you know, one poor bastard's got to marry me.
What do you mean poor bastard? By the way, I saw you eating, so I had to go quickly make some food before we continue in this because that shit you got there looks disgusting and I wanted to show you what real food is. If you're not eating anything, your reaction is absolutely valid right now because this is just super awkward. Anyways, and the funny thing is she is indeed going to marry someone in the future, and she can because she has a lot of fans and they will take her in a heartbeat. But the real challenge is it going to be for love or is it going to be for shakalaka boom boom intentions only?
And then you're checking that they've done an STI test?
Yeah, so prioritizing guys who have STI tests. They have to screenshot the results kind of thing. But this is the thing with it, like you can never 100% know if they've had an STI test, and even if they had, they could have slept with 10 girls in between the test and things like that. It's more just like, you know what you're getting involved in if you're willing to participate.
Are you going to kiss any of the guys?
Definitely. I feel like some of them would be a bit put off, especially when they know I've just had like 57 guys inside me or whatever.
Why do you think that would put them off?
I think it's more if someone's to my face. I can imagine that's what's put another guy off.
So you would let like these guys do that on your face?
Yeah.
And in your mouth?
Yeah.
What if they had HIV?
Is that where it comes from?
Perfect person to go for 100 guys without knowing how HIV but I don't think she needs to worry much about guys being disgusted, because if they decide to, you know, shakalaka boom boom one after another and they all have 5 minutes inside, by just applying and showing up, these donkeys are disgusting enough. I don't think they mind if they have other guys' babies inside them. Imagine going inside that room and you're like number 99 or number 100 and you really want to kiss the love of your life you've been watching online and throwing babies in the air, and you actually go for it, and in your head you're kissing Lily Phillips, but what you're actually kissing is other people's babies. If she's not pregnant, you'll be pregnant in the next 9 months. Now obviously it is not a documentary if these 100 men are not interviewed first, starting off with number 1. This is the first guy who showed up at 8:30 a.m.
Hey, nice to meet you.
I never really think about things before I do them, so I've just kind of do them and then think, oh, you know, was that okay?
This guy has a bright future. That is how entrepreneurs, how businessmen, billionaires start. You do it, then you think about it if it was a good idea or not. This guy's gonna do big things in the future.
So I asked lucky participant number 1 if he wanted to go for a stroll while we waited for Team Lily to arrive.
So you're obviously a subscriber of Lily's on OnlyFans?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it was only when she said.
So you got a text, but they sent the address quite late, didn't they?
Yeah, just this morning. Funny, like on the text it was like, you know, if you have any friends who'd like to take part, and I was like, oh, that's one of my motivations for coming here.
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna happen, you know?
Yeah.
Am I gonna get mugged? It's on the Circle Line.
Yeah.
I go to VNA after.
Now the way it works, she made a post on Twitter and she puts a phone number and you have to send your ID, your disease test. You need to get tested before. But obviously, you know, in between shit can happen. You can, you know, be with someone and someone can give you some disease and you can give it to her and she can give it to the other 99 guys. Now, there are people who came from other countries, who travel, paid flights, hours on the flight just to get 5 minutes with her.
One of the men participating agreed to speak with us after having spent his allotted 5 minutes with Lily. He had flown in from Switzerland just for this.
So I came last night and I'm leaving basically after. I went for the authentic experience.
Okay.
I had pie.
Pie.
Yeah,
British
in the
pie.
pub, yeah.
Pie mash.
If people actually had the dedication, the motivation, the doing big things in their life or doing the things that they want to, they would be successful. This shit, don't look at it as, oh, look at this guy, donkey travel from all over the country. Look at it as a motivation. This guy went through the whole process of traveling, booking tickets, booking a hotel, staying inside whatever they are, just to get 5 minutes. And at the end, he said what? He said it was worth it. A guy came from Switzerland and he was like, definitely, I paid £800 to get here and fucking hours of flights, and it was definitely worth it. Honestly, if that's not motivating to you to actually get up and do the things you want to do, I don't know what else can motivate you.
I felt bad, like some people just travel so far, like I didn't want to give them a shit time and like come away from this and be like, oh, that was shit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal at all. In my head right now, I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
I can't wait for the reaction of the 1,000 people who are only going to get a minute 20 seconds something.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
She's honestly spitting facts right now. I feel the same way about you guys as well. Like, obviously in a different scenario, but it just, you know, it will hurt me to let you guys down. So I get, anyway.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it.
We all did. We all did. We all knew what is going to happen to her emotionally. And this is just 100 guys. She's going for 1,000 guys. After seeing the full documentary on the 100 men, she's not going to be able to pass 200. That is a guaranteed. In 24 hours, giving them 5 minutes, most of them couldn't even finish that quick. For 1,000 people, it is going to take 10 days, or it is going to take around 1 week. That's the minimum. That's how long it's going to take. A 1 minute each, it is not going to be very satisfying, and there's going to be a lot of issues over there, even though security guards are there. Jesus. So the question that we all ask is, well, do they have to finish or not? They don't. 30-second gaga, 30-second shakalaka boom boom, that is counted as 1. Now, I'll be completely honest, after watching the whole documentary, she seems like a very nice person. She has a nice personality, and she is she seems nice, right? Maybe her decisions aren't very nice. I know we make fun of her for doing these things, but end of the day, yes, she's a grown person. Yes, she's an adult. She makes her own decisions, but I hope she actually comes to realization that this is actually not good for her, and she needs to stop doing this. Maybe do OF, sure, like do shit on the camera alone, but this whole thing is just pushing it. It's personal opinion. I'm not going to, I don't believe she's gonna go through with the 1,001, but it was a very interesting documentary to see. And yeah, let's just wait until Feb of 2025 to see if she actually goes through with it or not. But anyways, as usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, subscription, and if you're new here, take it easy. I'll see you at the next one.